Welcome back, everybody, to the Eyes on As podcast, part of the EPS family of podcasts, by the fans, for the fans, diehards only, and the newbies. We accept you. I'm Cam, and I have a guest and a co-host this week, Dave. So I'm not talking to myself, looking at myself for 35 minutes. What's up, Dave?
Hey, 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 I'm back. I'm glad to be back. I wish I was back talking about the Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah,
Sheesh. Sorry to leave you hanging on your own last week. That must not have been too much fun. It wasn't
it,
fun for me.
it made me realize I needed to get a haircut and I needed to shave. I was staring at myself for that long. I was like, oh man, this is
Yeah.
rough.
Uh-huh. Wow. Rough series.
Yeah,
Injuries, injuries. And what else? Not
lack
ready
of
to play?
effort.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. Like we've talked about it before, and I tell my friends like no one likes to lose, but you can accept losing when you lose like the right way. Like if they just played their best and Vegas just played better and we lost, I'm like
So
okay,
be
it's
it.
not. But Vegas played great, obviously. The Avs just did not play. They didn't show up. They didn't hustle. They didn't play. They only played, I think, combined in a game 15 hard minutes. The rest of the time, I don't know what they were doing, and it was really hard to watch.
That was so tough. And I know we've got our sort of order of operations we were planning on talking about today, but I'm just going to jump ahead a
We can
little
do
bit.
whatever we want,
I
dude.
thought
We control it. So
I really thought Bednar was on the way out. I thought the team failed Bednar and Bednar failed the team. I thought it was a two-way street. And as we all know, it's very difficult to trade for an entire new team. It's pretty easy to say, you know what, coach, you know what? Thank you for your service. You've been great. Goodbye. I expected that and I was ready for it. And I thought it was the right move. And then it didn't come. And now it sounds like, has it been finalized? Did Sakic come out and say he's staying?
I don't think Sakic has said officially like Bednar's safe. All the reports from all the local reporters and media say he's staying. Now, with that being said, I don't know if that means like, oh, he's staying, he's good, or it's like, oh, he's staying, but he's on a leash. Like if they
Yeah.
get off to a slow start, or if it happens again next year, first round exit or something, you're gone. But I mean, like obviously we don't know Bednar personally. He seems like a good guy,
Yeah.
and he led us to a cup. But I mean, you trade away Rantanen. That's a big move. We didn't get a cup last year. We didn't get a cup this year. You got a bunch of new guys. You didn't win again. Like you said, you can't trade away a whole team, but what can you do? Give her the coach. Like maybe everyone loves him, but it's not working. Like
No, it's not
look
working.
look at Vegas. They brought in Torts with 8 games left to go. Now they won the first game of the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup. Like
Yeah.
a
They're on
new
their way
a
to
new
winning the cup
voice, and
again.
I personally think I'm sure everybody in the Avs locker room loves Bednar. Like he's
Yeah.
such a good guy, but they are all too comfortable with Bednar. No one is like on their toes. They're like, "Oh, we know what he's gonna do."
Yeah.
They're comfortable, and this is what happens.
Yeah. Um, Absolutely. I was ready for Bednar to be gone, as I said, and I thought it was the right move. You got to make a major shakeup of some kind. Is the major shakeup trade McKinnon for McDavid? Okay, that'd be a big one.
Yeah, yeah. McDavid would take that trade. He'd be like, "Hell yeah, I'll go to Colorado." McKinnon would be like, "No way."
um, I saw an article, and wish I would have read it, but Troy Rank of the Denver Post, I think, wrote an article about um, the Avs aren't going to win until McKinnon grows up.
I saw that
I
too.
don't know what the content of the article was, but is McKinnon really the problem? And I think he had a great season. He had a bad series against um, the Knights, and was he hurt for the whole series? Maybe, and just got more hurt later. I don't know. He certainly looked bad, but the whole team looked bad. That's why I kind of was like, well, that's sort of indicative, maybe, of coaching. I don't know. Um, but to me, there needs to be a big shakeup, and I don't know what that could be. You come back with everything the same and try to do it again. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, you got to do something. And it's kind of like well, I mean, it is a job. It's their profession, obviously. But think about it. Anytime you've gotten a new job in your life, what do you do for the first 6 months? You work your butt off because you're trying to impress the boss and the employees and get on good graces. Well, what happens most of the time? You work there 3, 4 years. You can get away with stuff. You start slacking off, like, like, oh, I've skirted. That's the Avs. Like they aren't trying to impress anybody. They know Bednar. They have the routine. They have no one calling Mac out or whoever it may be in practice. I mean, I don't think Mac has that issue. Obviously, he's a psychopath, but you got to call out the team for like that should have been in the first and second round. The power play, the lack of falling through. I would have ripped him a new one. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You guys are the best team in the league, and you're playing like dog shit right now. Like pick it, like call them out. Like Bednar's probably like, hey, it's fine, guys. We're playing our game. Like they're like, oh, we're good.
Oh,
That
we're
work.
good. We'll come back the next game and
Yeah, and it's fine
try
against
again.
the Kings and the Wild, but obviously they saw what happened. The Knights don't care. They're like, you play crap. We're gonna put 5 on the goalie, and we're gonna win. And see you later. Have fun golfing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the shakeup is going to be. Um, whew, I cannot believe, just shocked they're bringing Bednar back. What can you do? Hopefully, I'm eating my words this time next year, and we're talking about a cup. But yeah, we got to get grittier.
Well,
We need
and
to
and
toughen
we
up a little
have
bit.
we have the. It's like I feel the roster's great. Like I think you and Eric both said the same. Like the team is the depth and stuff is loaded. Just they didn't perform, and I don't know if it's like the coaching, like you said. Is it the coaching not putting them on their toes of like making them feel like they
Yeah,
have to do it? But again, like you said, you're gonna run it back with the same people and the same coach and expect like really, if Makar was 100% healthy and McKinnon was healthy and we had no injuries, you think we would have beat Vegas? Not with that effort. They played
not
this.
with the effort.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, yeah.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
that's about well, and kind of like I guess it's kind of a shakeup, but and we can kind of tie it all in there.
Yeah.
But McFarland going to Nashville, so he's out. Sakic, I think, is in the interim, gonna slide back into the GM. I don't know how he is day to day. Like maybe he was the catalyst for the cup, like calling people like he's a Stanley Cup champion. Maybe he's like, hey boys, this is the playoffs. You better step. I'm gonna trade you out of here. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
I don't. I don't know if that's what he does, but maybe that's what he does do, and that's what they need. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe if
see.
he's closer to the team, that could be beneficial. So that would be a change if he sticks as GM for the season. It seems unlikely that he would do that, but maybe he will, and maybe that could be a good thing. I mean, Scott McFarlane, um, he was around working with Sakic, right, as assistant GM or something
Yeah.
when we won the
Yeah.
cup, and so he must know what he's doing to some extent. But the last couple of years haven't been too impressive. I thought they should have scouted Kadri better. Although I've heard that Kadri was great this year with the Flames, certainly wasn't great with the Avs. He was like, it's just like, hey, I'm back riding the merry-go-round for good times, and I don't remember very much memorable from him. A play or two here or there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I talked about like last week because I was like, oh, what am I going to talk about when it's just me? And I was like, oh, let's look at the cap situation. Nelson's going to be 35. Kadri's already 35. Burns is 40, 41. And those guys are really old, but like Manson's going to be 34. McKinnon will be 31. Like Landy's going to be 33. I mean, nowadays with sports performance, like it's easier to stay in shape longer, but that's on the back nine of those careers, and you come
Hmm.
back with them again, and you think about, I mean, Nelson had a good regular season, but he was a ghost in the playoffs. Kadri didn't show up. Burns had his moments, but you think they're gonna be youthful and better next year. They're gonna be another year older, so it's like,
Yeah.
and you're on the hook for all those guys minus Burns, who's a UFA, but um, like like to say wasted opportunities since the cup. I mean, granted, we saw this year with winning the President's Trophy how important Landy was for a full season. Like
Yeah.
he obviously a big deal, but we missed him for 3 years. Who knows what would have happened if he was healthy, if we would have got one or two more.
Probably.
Um, this roster is loaded, and you wait every year. It comes and goes, and you waste another year, and everyone's a year older, and then you got contracts coming up. McCarr's got one more year until he's up, and what's gonna happen with that? I mean, is he gonna go somewhere? Someone to offer him $20 million, and he's like, "See ya."
Yeah, hopefully he's back healthy too, right?
Yeah,
They say that that could linger into the beginning of the regular season.
yeah,
His injury, somebody said it was a significant injury. I don't know that we know the full details yet. I haven't heard, um, but yeah, injuries, age, Manson getting older, and also continues to have health,
yeah.
availability problems, I should say. So who knows? Maybe they will overhaul the roster. Give Bednar a new team and say, keep a few key players. Which to me, to be honest, that would be a very. If I was thinking about who's expendable, most
Hmm.
players on this
Hmm.
roster are based on what we saw certainly against the Knights. I mean, Natchez. I mean, he was. I loved him in most cases, in most games, but there in the playoffs, he didn't live up to what I would expect.
Yeah,
I was sort of looking for Rantanen style production, and in the playoffs, and that didn't happen. And so, who would you say is untradeable? McKinnon and Gabe and McCarr.
I would say
I don't
that's
know that there's
probably
anybody
about.
else.
I'd say that's probably the three that you're not touching. But
I'm
everything.
perfectly happy with the goaltenders. On top of that,
Yeah,
I'm not perfectly happy with them. They did what they needed to do. I thought they didn't cost us any games in against the Knights in my mind.
yeah. Wedgie had a couple like not great goals, but it's not like he crapped the bed and that was the reason. But like what I was telling some of my buddies is, it's kind of like you want the goalie to steal games for you. However, if you know the team is not trying or putting out the effort and you're back there sitting in the net watching, it kind of brings you down. Like I can only imagine Wedgie playing all year, seeing this team flying around, killing people, going, okay, and then watching that in the playoffs against the Knights and going, and like mentally being like, oh, we're good. He's like, man, I have to like play way up here because these guys aren't bringing it. And then that pressure and forcing you to be like, oh man, I just let in a couple goals in the first period and the team's not playing great. Now we're screwed. Like
Yeah,
that's got to be mentally. A goalie is already nutso anyway, and then having to deal with that, like I can't even imagine what he was and Blackwood too, like feeling
yeah,
back there.
yeah. And usually when I think of a goalie stealing a game, I think of a goalie playing great while the rest of the team is playing maybe good or at least giving effort. Maybe just can't break through on the other goalie and
Yeah,
score.
yeah,
Um, Whereas our goalies are sitting back there going, "What are these guys doing out there on the ice?" I and I mean, I'm going to be the only guy trying. It didn't seem like that was in the cards. Additionally, this team absolutely was never built for a goalie to be asked to steal a game. This team was built to score a bunch of goals, fly all over the place, and just overwhelm the other team. And in so many cases, they did that. And then come the Knights, no, not
yeah.
happening.
Well, look at the cup run. I mean, granted, I'm not a goalie. I'm not even close to being a great goalie. But if you mention Darcy Kemper, no one's going to put him on the best goalies of all time list. Not even
No,
close. But he was the main goalie for the cup run. All you need is good goaltending for the Avs, and you're going to win. But when you get like good goaltending and then the team doesn't do anything, you're going to lose. Like,
you're done. And we
yeah.
were
Yep.
so
Yeah, it
brutal.
was. Well, and like it would be interesting. It'll never happen, but I would love to sit in on a GM meeting, like hear Sakic and those guys talk how they build the roster, like what they're looking for. Because I mean, think about like Brenly was playing a lot during the season, and he's waiting the wings. Who are you gonna take out? Like, are you gonna take out Kelly or LOC or Colton and put him, demote him or scratch him and put Brindley in and replace him? Like, are you gonna trade one of those guys? Like, you have guys waiting to come up. How do you do that? Are you gonna trade someone away to bring up the guy from the AHL? Are you gonna
Yeah,
scratch one of them to bring Brindley in full time? Because I mean,
I
there's players hungry, ready to go. You know.
yeah, I for sure think I would like to see Brindley full time on the Avs next year, for based on what I saw last year, and he's doing well with the Eagles. And I think he could be a top six guy and trade somebody away and have him fill in.
Yeah.
You got him in the organization already, or as the Canadians like to say, organization. Right?
Organization.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not Canadian, so I can't say it
Yeah.
right. Uh, yeah, I'd love to see Brindley in there, and anybody that we didn't mention at the top. I'm fine for him to take the spot of any of those guys. Now, I don't think he's no. I know he played some fourth line for the Avs this year, but he's no fourth liner or third liner even in my mind. So I still think you got to keep. I'd love to see, the Logan O'Connors. I think he'll stick around. He's under contract, and
Yeah.
love to see some of those grinders stick around. Colton to me is expendable. Um, but yeah, I think Brindley could very easily be a guy in the top six.
Yeah, for sure. And like we were all remember my rants about Quinn Hughes when we played the Wild being too small and in the playoffs, like he shouldn't be your top defenseman because he just can't play in the corners. He jumps out of the way to block shots. Like, and then we saw when Makar was hurt and Manson, we had Achon and Blankenberg, great skaters. They were the same size as Quinn Hughes, and look what happened. They got dominated. Like
Yeah.
behind the net, those big Vegas forwards just beat them up, and like you could see it coming. Like they aren't gonna be able to make that play. They're just gonna get eaten alive, and that's
Hmm.
I mean, they're probably like, look, listen to this. If they listen to this, like, you idiot, like I'm in the AHL, but I'm like, well, I
Well, are
would
you
if
ready
you
to
were
step up
six,
for the big time
yeah, if you
or
were
not?
6'3", it would be better. But I mean, very rarely do you have a small defenseman that is Quinn Hughes' skill, but also like Josh Manson tough that can do it all. Like if you're small, you better be insanely. I mean, Quinn Hughes makes it work because he's so good at skating and puck handling, but
Yeah.
even he gets manhandled when you check him. So
Oh yeah.
I don't like those guys waiting in the wings to come up, even as like a number six. Like in the
No, I don't
playoffs, they're
either.
gonna they're gonna get. That's not the answer, for
No,
sure.
gonna have to make some moves for defense. I don't know where you're gonna find people, but Sakic, I think, is more capable based on recent performance to make some of those moves than McFarland in my mind. So
Yeah,
maybe, he'll pull a rabbit out of the hat.
yeah. Well, and he's been there, done that. He's won the cup, so he knows who you need on the team to win the cup. And granted, like I said, we had injuries and people didn't perform. Like, was it injuries combined with the comfort of Bednar not calling them out and they just gave up? Or was it the injuries were worse than we all thought and they just had nothing? But I mean, I don't think it's that because, I mean, minus Makar, they beat the Wild in 5 games.
Yeah.
They got the break, and then they come into game one and they're leading and then lose, lead game two, lose, lead game three. Like, that, you were winning those games. What the heck happened? Like
What the heck?
my only thing is that's how they played the whole playoffs. They got lucky. They let their foot off the gas, but they were able to win. They did it against the Knights, and the Knights are like, well, guess what? I'm a cockroach. You can stomp on me, but I keep coming back to life, and it ain't gonna happen. I think that's like mentally they were probably like this Dave guy. I push him down, he comes back up. Like what the? And you just laugh in their face as you take the puck and win the game. I don't know.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, it's all guesswork from our part. I wonder if they have any answers. I mean, I don't know what they say in the. Babe, you'd love to know what they say in the room. Like, um, yeah, we did our best. It didn't look like we were trying, but this for this reason, that reason, and the other reason, the Knights just outplayed us. But or if they're saying, I don't know why we didn't try. Maybe we should have tried to win the cup. I thought that was the goal
Yeah.
to win the cup, but I don't know. It's anyone's guess.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't figure it out.
yeah, but that's the frustrating part is you see like obviously I would never trade the talent we have to have a lesser team, but it's almost easier to not have a good team because they perform above expectations and you're like, "Well, we made it to the playoffs and we didn't have anybody good." To where the Avs are expected to win every year, so you have then they have the same expectations as us fans, you know? And then they don't perform how they should and that's the most frustrating part is like the lack of effort. Like I said, they could lose and it sucks, but I could handle it. But the way they lost and blew those games, I think it's honestly like the first time I've ever been embarrassed to like watch them play
Right?
because of what they have. Like, look at you guys. You have Makar, you have McKinney, you have Landy, like Nichushkin, Manson, like you. That fourth line, LOC, and like you guys are doing this. Like you had a 3-0 lead. Like I was like I literally felt like someone was like pulling my eyelashes out while like holding my like just pulling little pain a little bit at a time. Like this is not happening. Like it really is this really? Am I watching this right now? Like what the
God.
heck?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I wasn't going to watch. I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to watch game four. I just can't handle it. It's too miserable. Then I watched and it was the worst kind of pain.
Yeah, just like death by a thousand cuts, like they say. Like just slowly, just
Yeah.
eking away.
Uh, so yeah, it's crazy. So what do you do next year? You come back, you're like, okay, our goals last year were to win the President's Trophy and win the cup. Do you come back next year and say, well, winning the President's Trophy may have been a nice goal, but it didn't get us anything. So we're not going to try to win the. I mean, uh, I don't know. I don't know how you come back with the same coaching staff. Well, same head coach. We don't know what the rest of the staff will look like and say, we're going to try the same thing as we did last year. By gummit, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to try in the Western Conference Finals. Who knows? But they do need to change some assistant coaches. That power play coach was supposed to come in and save the day. And for like a week, we looked good with Kadri, and
Yeah,
then that was over. And
that bit us big time, and yeah, I don't know if that'd make a difference because of the effort level. Like when you're up 3-0 in that game and they got a power play, if it would have made it 4-0, is that too much for Vegas to come back? I don't know. They were up 2-0 in the other game, 0 for 2 on their power play. Vegas came back. Like would one power play goal be enough to
yeah,
cushion? But it didn't help them. Like again, I'm like, how is it so bad?
yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah.
it's really frustrating that the management was reluctant to pull the trigger on coaching changes. I'd be like, this is abysmal. You're gone. We're bringing in somebody new from some high school team. I don't care who it is, with some different ideas and different plans on the power play. But that was always going to bite them. Talked about it all season long. Once you get to the playoffs, a bad power play is going to bite you, and it did.
Well, and the negative, I have a buddy of mine who's also an Avs fan. He was like, "Well, yeah, their power play wasn't good, but I don't think that like mattered too much." I'm like, "Bro, well, he never played high level hockey, so what's he know?" But I'm like, take it this way, like you okay, you know your power play stinks as an Avs player. You get a power play, so you go into that power play going, "We have to score. Our power play sucks. We haven't scored." Pressure,
Yeah.
holding the stick. You don't score again on the power play. You come back to the bench, and it's just that negative energy. Like we couldn't score again. It feeds into everything. Like you
Hmm.
get a power play again, it's already 0 for 3 in the game, and you're like, we gotta score, we gotta score. So much pressure. You don't score, and Vegas is just like pff, easy. And then the whole team's like, oh my god, we just can't our power play, and it just beats. It's just another thing to beat you down as you're
Yeah.
trying to win. You know.
Yeah, and of course, when it happens in the playoffs, then it slips into your mind. You're like, Oh yeah, we were bad all season on the power play. So we're probably not going to be good now against teams that are, better. We're in the playoffs, so we're playing a better team than we played in the regular season and still couldn't score. So yeah, the psyche was no good on the power play.
Yeah.
And that's going to have to change
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that would be an interesting. I don't think a coach would ever do this, but if the goals of the team were not to win the President's Trophy, but to score a power play goal every game or two
Have the
power play
best
goals
power play
every
in the
game,
NHL.
and don't care about the record. You know what? We lost 3-2, but we scored two power play
Yeah.
goals. So,
Something. It'll matter in the playoffs. Like, do you think I would get kicked out of their practice facility if I went to an open practice with a whiteboard and said, I can fix your power play right here. I
yeah,
can do it. They're like, that get that guy out
yeah,
of
get
here.
that guy out of here. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I would
Um,
love to just hop over the ice and be like, okay, I'm gonna be the only guy back here. You guys run your power play, and I'm gonna know exactly where you're gonna go, and I'm gonna stop you. And I'm one out of shape, past my prime man, and that should tell you you have a big problem. Like I know exactly what you're gonna do.
yeah,
Like
exactly. First of all, you guys are gonna stand around and barely move, and then you're gonna hold the puck on your stick for too long, and then you're gonna pass it out of the zone, and then take what'd you count? 16 seconds to get back.
16 to 19. That's what I said. I can dump it down and I know I can go get a drink of water at the bench, maybe pop in some gum, and I got about 17 seconds before you even get to the blue line, before you dump it back to McKinnon, way back in his zone to come up, and I'm just going to clog this side. And then he's going to probably fumble it, or he'll dump it in, and I'll just get to the puck and I'll ice it again, and then there you go. I'm like, you guys, you kill me.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Yeah, it's bad. That would be the biggest thing if I was sack. I'm like, okay, number one, fix your power play. If your power play isn't above 20% after the first month, the first power play unit is gone, and we're having new personnel on there, and
Right?
we're gonna keep switching it.
Yeah,
And then if the break-in doesn't work or the whatever you're doing in there, we're changing it up all the time because I mean they should anyway. Like look at the Oilers. They remind me of like the Russians and the Miracle of Ice era, like the 70s, 80s, they're just constantly rotating and moving, like you don't know what they're gonna do, and
yeah.
that's hockey. Like if I'm standing there and I'm not moving and you're guarding me, you're like Cam ain't
It's
moving.
easy.
Well, if he looks over there, I'll stick my stick out. If he tries to go there, there you go. Like, but if I'm rotating with everyone and you're like I don't know what they're doing, that's how you score goals. Like it blows,
Yeah.
and they have the talent. It's not like they're
They,
terrible. Like they have Makar, McKinnon, Landy, Nichushkin, whoever else is they plug on there. They're so good. Like I don't get it.
I don't get it either. They have more talent, more skating talent than any other team in the league, in my mind, and they don't utilize it. Certainly on the haven't used it utilized it on the power play with their standing still, and then tried to change some things up in a weird way late in the season and in the playoffs and do some different stuff that also didn't work. Um, who knows? But need to ratchet that up. Yes, I think that'd be a good goal. If Bednar's back, looks like he is, be like, okay, our goal is two power play goals every
Yeah.
game. Another thing is our first power play unit. I don't know if all teams do this, but they get 90%, it seems like, of the power play time over the course of a game. And I think at times you'd like to see a little bit more of the second unit and
Yeah. Change. It can't
see what
hurt.
happens. Can't
Number
hurt.
number one ain't scoring. Put in number two. Like
Yeah.
they're probably frustrated. I would be if I'm
Yes.
like seeing I'm sitting on the bench every power play watching the first unit go out and do nothing. I'd be like, hey coach,
Coach, I'm here. I'm
I
ready.
could I could not score too, but maybe I will score.
Unlike these guys, maybe I will.
Yeah, like I would love to see like change it up obviously too, but like you have McKinnon and McCarr who are two of the best skaters in the world. Do like I don't get why they don't do like option plays. Like
Yeah.
especially like behind the net. McCarr's so good at like going around the back of the net with speed.
Yeah.
Come have him go around the net, have McKinnon on the side, They go by each other, and Makar either drops it to McKinnon or he carries it around. McKinnon floats down, and then you have those two defenders not knowing what's going to happen. It's going to open up a lane. And then Makar can dish to McKinnon. He can go to the bumper. He can go up to the top, and they're going to be broken down. But it's like, hey, you, me, you, me. It's like bubble hockey. No
I
one
like
moves.
this.
Their stick just rotates, but no one moves. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I like this concept of the option play.
I said
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna come to Denver.
it's
I'm
like
coming to the first game. I'm gonna go to their practice, and you're
yeah,
gonna see on the news like co-host of Eyes on Avs podcast gets arrested and thrown out of the Avs practice
and
facility.
then the second part of the story is Avs implement his ideas and score 3 power play goals.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm like, jeez. Like, it would it can't. Oh, you know what? It can't be worse.
It
If
can't
they
be
do it
worse.
and they don't score, I'm like, guess what? Nothing changed.
You can't score less than 0 goals. So
Exactly. So I mean, why not? You know? Yeah.
it's amazing. It's I was just looking at our notes. The season review. The season was incredible. It was so entertaining, and there's a lot to be said for regular season, and being entertained throughout the season. It's frustrating that we didn't win the cup, but for entertainment value, I mean the regular season was phenomenal. It was absolutely incredible. I'm a soccer fan also, and I watch English Premier League. Their regular season is the season. There is no postseason in a lot of European soccer and a lot of professional soccer leagues. So I mean, we won the season. We won the regular season.
Yeah.
Can we get a participation trophy?
We get a banner we get a raise for the President's Trophy.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what to say about that, but it's crazy. They were so great. Power play. I don't know how they were so great in the regular season with no power play, but they were. And um, yeah, the entertainment was there. I would hate to be a fan of you know some of these teams that can't seem to score any goals or start hot and flame out, a la Red Wings, and
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would suck. Terrible.
or some of these other teams. So I mean, at least we got that going for us. I'm trying to look for some sort of bright side.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't want to say it's the President's Trophy curse because everyone says, "Oh, the Blackhawks in 2012, 2013 was the last President's Trophy winner to win the cup." I think it's more of you're a really good team and everyone's going to bring their best every time you play them. So it's whether you're the President's Trophy or you're a Dallas or Minnesota, people are like, "You're a top team. We got to step up our game." But like I said, like the Knights are like the Kings of 2012 when they snuck in as the 8th seed and then dominated the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's stuff to being said that you have adversity the last 2 months. You're fighting every night, like to make the playoffs,
Hmm.
not home ice, like to make and you're desperate. And then you get to the playoffs and you're already in playoff mode where it's almost too easy for the top teams like the Avs and stuff. Like, and then you get the Kings, they're like, oh, we don't really have to play, and we sweep them, and then you didn't really play, and you got lucky to beat the Wild in 5, and then you run into the desperation of the Knights, and you just get smacked in the face, and you're like, what is this? And they're like, we've been playing playoff hockey since February 20th. Like,
Yeah.
welcome to the show, you know? Like, I think that says a lot. Like, and what do you do? What do you tell them to not win as much because
Right. I know that's the thing. You're
it's
like,
so
our
dumb.
goal is to win fewer games.
Yeah. Like we want it to be harder. Like yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that fine line is, but you also want home ice advantage. Well, usually nowadays it seems like it doesn't matter, but
You do want that, but it doesn't. It's like, do you really need it?
I don't think you do
You
anymore.
don't. Especially in hockey.
Yeah.
It seems like so often road team wins.
Yeah.
Um, and so, what do you do? I don't know. I think maybe, like I was mentioning, maybe there's some games, I don't know, where you focus more on the power play, and but of course you can only get a power play if the other team is committing penalties. So, um, but I mean, that would be a weird approach and very unorthodox for a coach to say, okay, today we are concentrating on the power play. Don't wear yourself out too much in 5 on
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, and like it's also interesting too because it's like the NBA is so terrible to watch in general, but with their like load management of like, oh, we're resting the guys, and like McKinnon would never go for that, obviously, and that's not hockey culture.
No,
But like, could you do something where you bring up those AHL guys and maybe you scratch the whole fourth line? Like no
right.
LOC, Colton, Kelly one game, and you bring in three AHL guys and you plug them in there and you let them play 1 or 2 games in February or March before the playoffs to see what they have.
Yeah.
That way, you do get in the playoffs, you have injuries or it's not going. You got these guys who've done it and like, okay, well, they did good in February. Let's bring them up. Like, try different players out and kind of see if you can mix them in a little bit and what they got. Because, again, like we were saying earlier, same coach, same team, different results. Like, you got to do something, you know?
Something has to change, and I would love to see something unorthodox and unexpected because, this year was, pretty much by the book. It's like, we're going to go for President's Trophy. Got it. We're going to try to skate circles around everybody. We did that and dominate teams and, you know, got us an early exit. So it's got to be something has to change in the approach next year.
Yeah.
Um, and who knows? Maybe it's just something an approach change once playoff time comes and you can play the regular season with the same approach. But I don't know how you do that. That's above my pay grade. Maybe Bednar has some ideas, but
I think it's just a lost opportunity. You had such a great season, President's Trophy, domination, and I think it was a false flag in the first 2 rounds. Like we were all like, obviously you're winning, you're never going to complain about that, but it's there was cracks in the armor. Like we
there
talked
were.
about it, the power play's still not good, and they would not have the effort in games that we talked about. Like we talked, like oh they won, but Eric would be like they didn't even play a full game yet. Like it's
And
like,
they never did.
and it's like they're gonna eventually hit a wall. It's gonna come, you know, and it did worse than we all thought. But I don't know. Like everyone says, you switch a flip or flip a switch. I can't freaking
Yeah.
talk. Flip a switch in the playoffs, which yes, but it's like you have regular season hockey, which they dominate. Like I'd take that 10 times out of 10 their season. But like I said, is it a new voice that's not Bednar going, okay, guys, it's playoff time. I'm going to call you out on your stuff if there's no effort level. If you come out like Tortorella, he has the reputation. He's like kind of a prick, you know?
Yes,
Like,
he has that reputation, and
but I
I
think you need that.
I'm wondering if the Avs don't need that, and bringing Bednar back is a mistake, and bring in somebody, make it miserable for the players, make them hate the season, and then come out and win the cup. Is that better than loving everybody kumbaya all season and you don't win the cup? I don't know what they prefer, but
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, I mean, players too and the fans, like, what would you rather have? A Stanley Cup or everyone that gets along and everyone loves the coach and it's
yeah,
all a good time, but you lose in the second round every year? Even everyone, players included, should say, give me the cup.
give me the
That's the
cup.
goal, right?
We can, yeah. So yeah, I'd love to see him bring in a fiery coach. And you know what? If they don't, maybe they can bring in a fiery assistant. And
Something, you know, like, well, like, so I don't know if you've been following the whole Bruce Cassidy thing with Vegas not letting him interview with other jobs, like their tactic or whatever. But like when he wasn't getting interviewed in our season, I'm like, well, you know, he has kind of the reputation of Torts of kind of like he's kind of a prick and kind of calls his players up. But guess what? They won the cup with him in Vegas a few years ago.
they sure
I'm
did.
like, I'd love to have him in, and but keep him bet he's gonna get picked up by somebody eventually, and it ain't gonna be us. So there goes that. But I
Yeah.
think you'd need that. There's a balance. Like I've played for coaches that have been not like mean, but they don't let you like if you're not playing great, they're like, hey Dave, last game you killed it. What's going? Where are you? Where's your
Yeah,
legs
yeah,
tonight?
yeah. Last game was great. This
Yeah,
game isn't, and I'm
and
more concerned about this game than last
yeah.
game.
Well, and like you have the personnel. Like if you call Mac out, he's such a crazy animal, he's probably gonna love it. Like he's like, oh, you think I'm not playing? I'll show you. Like he's gonna go out there and kill somebody.
Yeah,
Duh, like come on, you got
yeah,
a dog. Like call him
yeah,
out.
yeah. I don't know. I was ready for Bednar to go and a new voice, and I think a new voice is needed. Boy, I sure hope I'm wrong, and we just cruise through next season and win the cup.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm not in that room. I don't know what Bednar says and stuff, but I've seen a lot of stuff online, and I mean, half agree, half not agree. But the Avs were so loaded in 22, and like Kadri was younger, everyone was younger, and we
Yeah,
stayed relatively healthy. But like people like it doesn't matter who was coaching the Avs that year; they were gonna win the cup. Like you could have had one of us behind the bench and just make sure the line changes are good, and they would have won. It wasn't Bednar coaching so well. It was the Avs just were the best team. And
yeah,
so I'm like, so a lot of people are like, well, Bednar really didn't win us the cup. Like he just happened to be the coach. And I'm like, well,
yeah,
yes, like it's hard to say. Like,
yeah. I
yeah,
definitely don't subscribe to that. That's easy to say in hindsight, and
yeah,
um, yeah, I definitely don't subscribe to that. But it was a stacked team, but still got to have somebody keep them together. We had a stacked team this year, and we didn't have somebody keep them together.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Same
It's,
guys somehow.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, well,
so
I'll
frustrating.
throw some hypotheticals at you. We can play that game and
Yeah, okay,
see
that's
what
great.
you're thinking. So Burns is a UFA. He signed a
Yeah,
1 year this year, which I really wanted us to win anyway, but for him to get the cup to kind of have the a la 2001 Ray Bork story, like
yeah,
20s plus years, blah blah. So I believe he's gonna be 42 next year. I think he's 41 now. He's got 64 games until he breaks the consecutive games record. So
right.
he's obviously gonna come back. Plus he still wants the cup. GM Dave, he's
Yeah,
older. He's slowed down. He's probably gonna slow down even more. He's not gonna get faster at 42, especially as a big defenseman. Would you bring him back for another year to try to get that cut for him? You go, hey, sorry, it didn't work out. See you later.
yeah. I got to cut him loose. I thought he was a bit of a liability on several goals in the against the Knights, and I think he. I love the guy. Um, I would ideally want him on the team, but this team is in dire straits in my mind, and they need some changes, and they need younger, bigger, faster, whatever. I would. It's a business I wouldn't want to cut him loose, but I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat without a second thought. And somebody will pick him up. He'll go play somewhere, and they can, have a big celebration for him. It'll be great. And not here now. Of course, you have to find something better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from that perspective, it's like if you can't find somebody better, which I hope you can, um, yeah, I mean, he had an overall good season, and he was generally good, but yeah, I'd cut him loose. What would you do?
Yeah, I'd have to like put my GM hat on because like my heart would be like keep him around because I wanted to get him that cup. Like there's always the option of like having him be like a seventh defenseman. Like he plays in the regular season every few games, and you keep him on the scratch list in the playoffs. And if someone gets hurt or not playing good, you can plug him in for a couple
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
But then if he's slower and he needs to step up in one of those games in the playoffs and he's not performing, then you're like we could have had somebody
yeah,
younger, faster. So
yeah.
his best ability currently is getting pucks on net. Like you saw, like I don't know how he does it. He could be on one leg looking in the stands at the popcorn guy, and he can get the puck on the net.
He does do that.
But the downside to him is he's a lot slower. He got beat a lot in the corners coming out to the net. The puck going along the wall, and he's got to turn his hips and go back. He lost a lot of those races, so it's like on net's great, but I think his liability is too big, and he's UFA, so we can't trade him. He's gone. Like we can't get anything for him. So
Exactly. Right.
so
I agree.
he's not an asset. So it's not like oh we can trade. You're pretty much screwed now. So using my brain, I'd be like, I'm sorry, dude. I really wanted to just win this cup. But also, what I was going to bring up to you too, which is I don't even know how he's feeling. He played for Carolina the last 3 years,
Yeah,
signed with the Avs to try to get the
I
cup.
know.
Carolina's in the final now.
Yes,
I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, that sucks.
So brutal, so brutal. Yeah, he is one awesome dude. I didn't really know much about him at all prior to him coming here, and I just think he is absolutely awesome. And I hope he gets the cup, and love to see him, be an assistant coach or something. I could
He
see
would
him
be a
doing that,
great
or be a
coach.
coach or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you'll
He
have
could be a
to
great coach.
look more into him like later on whatever, but he has a big ranch in Texas cuz
Okay.
he's crazy. Like we all know he's psychopath, but he has like snakes and zebras and buffalo like on this ranch, and like he's walking around barefoot like out in the Texas ranch just like holding snakes and feeding his buffalo, and I'm like this guy, I'm like he just don't care. He just lives his life and does what he wants. And I'm like, what a
Well, that sounds a little bit like Nikola Jokic, was
yeah, the
I
horses
saw
and all
some
that stuff.
video of him back in Serbia racing his horses, and
Yep.
biggest smile, bigger smile than you'll ever see him have on a
That's what
basketball
people
court.
say. Like win the NBA title, crack a half a smile, race horses like he's like a kid in a candy store.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, so I guess Burnsy is like that with his zebras and his bison and his snakes.
Yeah, dude, he's got some wild. I saw that a few years ago. I'm like, man. And then he's got his backpack full of all of his ailments to get his body right. And he brings his espresso machine with
Yeah,
him. And I'm
I
like,
know.
hey, whatever you got to do, you know.
I know. Okay,
Okay.
I'll throw one at you. I am going to ask, what about which player am I thinking of? I'll ask about Lekkonen.
Okay.
Where you at with Lekkonen?
I love
Trade?
Lucky.
I do
I
too.
love Lucky.
I do too.
What I think he was he was injured too because he missed those games with Valencia,
Yeah,
so I don't think he was 100%. But he is a player he's a playoff player.
he
That's who I'd
is.
want. I would rather take someone like him over more skilled, more points in the regular season guy because like I think anybody would like if you put like two players together and you got this player that gets 90 points in the regular season, but he disappears in the playoffs, and then you get Lekanen who's like a 60-point guy, but he performs in the playoffs. Give me that guy all day. It's all about the playoffs. So I love him. I think he had a good playoffs. He just was I
Yeah,
think he got hurt more, but look at the cup run. He scored I think two series clinching goals in the cup run. Yes, he's getting older too, but I like him on the first line actually.
I do
Like
too.
with Nate, like they go really good together. Like Nate can kind of let Lecky go in the corner and dig out those pucks, and he can kind of float where he needs, and he's gonna get the shot. I think he should be on the first line all the time, personally.
Yeah, I hate to agree. We need to find some places where we disagree, but I do agree with that wholeheartedly across the board. So, um, yeah, if we got to keep him. I don't know the contract situation of some of the players. Val's under contract still. Um,
I wish I
I'd
would have
like to unload
kept my
him.
notes from last week because I had written down like all because everyone's pretty much signed at least through next year, except for Burns and a couple of the smaller demon and maybe Kulak, possibly. But everyone else is under contract for at least next year. Now, after next year, Makar obviously is not signed. I think Kelly. There's quite a bit of guys that their contracts are ending after next year,
Right.
which is gonna get. That's another thing. Like, guys, win this cup because then it's gonna hit the fan, and we're gonna probably have to let people go because of the contracts and stuff. Um,
I think
but
Val has some trade value.
he does,
Um,
yeah.
he's somebody that I would be happy to see traded.
Yeah, he
And I'm a
again,
huge fan of his. I mean, he was without him, we don't win the cup.
yeah.
A few years back at all. He was an absolute horse. But you know what? It's a business. You got to play. You got to deal with what's in front of you today. What's in front of you today is it's not working with him. I don't think.
Yeah, and he's older too. I think he's 33. He's getting up there, and he still puts out the effort. But trade value, I think we need to go younger to utilize Max and McCarr's window because McCarr's still 27. He's gonna be 28. McKinnon, he's in good enough shape. He's probably got another 5 year like a Crosby. He's gonna
Yeah,
be good until he's done, but probably 5 more years of like pretty close to prime that
yeah,
we got to take care of. So if we can trade out some of those older guys and get under 30 years old with some dudes, so we
yeah.
can have a longer window, I would like a Nichushkin. Yeah, how are you on Nature's obviously younger, but like Nelson, Natchez, those type of guys, like should we trade those out and try to get different pieces to perform in the playoffs? Because both of those guys were ghosts.
Yeah, I'm willing to give Natchez another try if I was the GM. Nelson, I hope he was really hurt because I thought he was bad.
Yeah,
And if he wasn't really hurt, I'd be happy to move on from him and try something else. I don't know. I mean, it does happen, right? People have a down year. He didn't have a down year, but down playoffs and then come back next year and be better. That's a possibility. But yeah, I'm not in love with Nelson. He had a lot of great moments, and I'd be fine to move on from him. Again, to move on, you got to find somebody as good or better to make it make sense.
yeah,
And so that's the challenge.
and he did score 30 plus goals in the regular season. That's a
He
lot of
sure
goals
did.
that you got to replace. So
He sure did. And you know what? He had a great regular season. I was all ready to see more of it in the postseason. But yeah, again, I'm ready to move on from almost anybody. It's interesting. Um, when I actually interviewed for this podcasting host role, I was asked who my favorite players were on the team, and I had named Lecky first. And I'm a little bit surprised that I didn't include him, and I think I would amend that and include him with players, untradeable players. Um, Unless something amazing came in for a
yeah,
trade, I'd be like, no, there's absolutely no reason on God's green earth to get rid of Lecky at
yeah,
this point.
yeah.
So, but anybody else, yeah, if you got to find somebody better or somebody you think that's going to is ready to rise up and be better next season.
Yeah, what if I was GM, I would go in first camp, first after you pick the team, whatever, and I'm like, okay, guys, power play needs to be better. If it doesn't get better, we're switching the personnel, and you're going to be off the top line. But I'd also light a fire under them. Like, okay, you guys get until March to show me what you got, and if there's anybody that's not performing, you're out of here at the trade deadline. We're bringing people in because we're gonna. Last year was unacceptable. We're gonna load up to win the cup. So if you want to stick around here and try to win with us, you better show it. But again, with that being said, they technically did in the regular season,
They
and then
did.
they
They
shit the bed in
absolutely
the
did.
playoffs. So like, I don't know if that'll work, but I'm like,
Right.
if someone's having a down, like if Nelson drops down in the regular season and he's not playing well, ship him out. Try to get somebody better by the trade deadline. Whoever it may,
Yeah.
Val, trade him out, get assets, something.
Yeah. Be more
Because
willing to
our
take
we don't have
risks.
a first round pick, I don't think either for like the next 2 years, maybe. I could be wrong, but we don't our prospect pool is going to be thin too because we're trying into win now mode. But if you don't win now, it looks extra bad. Like we didn't win and we have no draft picks. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a good topic maybe for next week or
yeah,
a subsequent week is to look at who might be available around the league as a free agent or somebody that's maybe potentially out of favor with their current team and maybe could be dealt. So I think that'd be worthwhile to maybe research
we got
over
a
the
long
next
off
week or
season
two.
now.
A long off season. We're gonna have to find something to talk about. So maybe we look around the league at some players and just talk about some of the guys that maybe we think could be brought in as a fit.
For sure. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, that's all I've got for today.
Yeah, that's enough depressing power play talk. And I have nightmares. I can't. My sleep has been off all playoffs because of that. I just wake up and I wake up with my hands trying to pass the puck, and I'm like, what? My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to rotate the power play for the app. She's like, you're crazy.
No, no.
Yeah, you pushed me off the bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, Cam, as always, we're making the best of it. And you know what? We'll have more awesome hockey to talk about in the off season. And you know what? It'll be crazy, but it's true. Before you know it, we'll be back there at training camp.
At least we're not the Red Wings or the Leafs. So
At least we're not that. So,
yeah.
anyways, hey, it's great talking to you. Glad to have everybody with us. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Feel free. Love to hear you hear your feedback. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and follow the Eyes on Avs podcast. We'll talk to you next week.
See you later.